YouTube, Bromopar here, commenting on the whole Onision saga. I know I'm a latecomer to the game. I originally was going to stay out of it. There were a couple reasons. One, the response was pretty overwhelming, and I felt, well, I'll just stay out of it. It's not really the direction I wanted my channel to go anyway. That was the second reason. But yesterday I got what I like to call a full-body reality check against the boards. For those of you who may not watch hockey, a full-body check is when you skate towards somebody and you literally throw your whole body into them to crash into them and knock them to the ice. If they happen to be close to the boards, which are panes of glass that surround the rink, and you crash into them and together the both of you with the person in between crash against the glass, that's called the full-body check against the boards. It's one of the most devastating hits in hockey. It doesn't just knock the player to the ice. It can actually stop any play they're trying to make dead in its tracks. It can actually completely alter the course of the gameplay, causing a turnover and changing the momentum. I mean, it's a huge, huge hit. And that was how I felt yesterday when the daughter of a friend of ours was raped. And I knew I couldn't stay out of this. Those were bullshit reasons. I was just kidding myself. So I'm here to voice my opinions on what you said. The reason this is relevant to Onision, what you had to say, your particular little quote about, a woman felt that she was pressured into having sex. It's really funny coming from someone who slept with more than 20 people, basically saying, I think this woman's a slut, so how could she not want to have sex with me or everybody on the planet? Trust me when I tell you, whether or not you think a woman is a slut, whether or not that woman accepts the fact that she's a slut, if she doesn't want it, she doesn't want it, okay? Our friend's daughter didn't stop crying a whole day. The social worker said she was hysterical and that they had to wait because they couldn't talk to her. They couldn't get a coherent sentence out of her, okay? And this is a girl who, she tended to kind of dress, a little bit more provocatively than the rest of us would have liked. By and large, we tried to put as much of a lid on it as we could and compromise here and there. But in the end, I mean, she was still being called provocative. She was still being called over-friendly. She was still basically, in politically correct terms, because she's 13 years old, being called a slut. Okay? And I can tell you, after being forced to have sex with somebody, okay, she did not want it. Okay? She is traumatized. Probably for the rest of her life. I know, I was sexually molested when I was 10 years old. I'm now 35, and I'm still feeling the effects of that. Okay, 25 years later, it still hurts when I think about it. And I know that our friend's daughter is going to go through the same thing. And I'm willing to say she had it a lot worse than I did. So her road's going to be a lot tougher. We're all going to do everything we can to help her. But, I mean, this really opened up my eyes, and hopefully it will open up your eyes too, although, Onision, I doubt it. It's probably a little too late for you. But if there's anybody else out there who's watching this, who thinks the same way he did, who thinks that if a woman is a slut, or she sleeps with a lot of people, or she dresses a certain way, then she can't not want it from you or anyone else, okay, you're fucking kidding yourselves. You are lying to yourself, okay? And Onision, you said specifically, you thought it was funny? You thought it was real funny? Look at my face. I'm not fucking laughing, am I?